What is up, everyone? Welcome to episode 10 of Dead with My Friends podcast. I am Steve,
I'm Nick.
and to ring in the new year, we are talking Terror Train.
So, Steven, I'm fucking glad you actually got to come down.
Yeah, tomorrow's New Year's Eve. We've got plans with friends, and we thought, what a great time to talk about Terror Train since it is a slasher film that takes place on New Year's
Yeah.
Eve. And yeah, we're starting off the new year right, man.
Oh, yeah, I think so. And I mean, like you said, tomorrow's New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So, as soon as the ball drops, you know what that means. Twilight Zone.
Oh shit, dude! I
Yeah.
totally forgot that. Like,
Yeah.
Sci-Fi does their 24 hours of Twilight Zone marathon.
Yep.
One of my favorites, I'd have to say, is the ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he was an asshole.
yeah, the other one where like the old man is dying, and like he makes like his family members like wear like these gruesome masks that like
That's fucking,
at the
that one's
stroke at
so
midnight
great.
they fucking
And then they take the mask off and
and it
like, they
becomes
have
their
the-
face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one,
yeah.
that one's good. I like that one.
I definitely think we should before our festivities begin tomorrow, because I feel like it starts tomorrow.
It probably does. Yeah.
We
I'm
should
pretty sure it does.
throw on a few Twilight Zone episodes.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. I have a box set actually right over there.
Oh shit, yeah, look
Yeah.
at that.
Dude, the thing about Twilight Zone, which is really fucking interesting, is I always swear I've seen every episode, and then every time Sci-Fi throws it on and they do like the 24 hours of it, I always fucking see an episode I've never seen before.
Yeah, I'm kind of like picky and choosy. Like I've got some of my favorites, but sometimes I'll kind of branch out and just watch some random ones that just happen to be on TV during New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So
Dude, Time Enough at Last is the best episode.
I don't think I've seen that
Oh,
one.
you had to have, man. That's such a famous episode, dude. It's when the one guy, he's a banker and all he wants to do is just read. But his wife won't let him read. He tries to read at work, which you shouldn't do.
What do you mean, Nick? You read scripts at work.
I wasn't supposed to. I knew I wasn't supposed to. But I read scripts at work, but it was a great pastime. I learned a lot. But all he wants to do is read. So one day he ends up going into the vault, I guess, to grab some money or something, and then I guess the vault closes behind him. If I'm remembering it correctly, I think the vault closes behind him, and then there's like a nuclear wipeout. Actually, I shouldn't even be fucking telling you because like you're fucking staring at me all blank like you've
Yeah,
never
I
even
haven't
seen
seen
the
this
episode.
episode.
All right, I'm not gonna tell you what happens,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna tell you it's a great fucking episode.
Another one I like is it's William Shatner. Him and his wife, they're like at some restaurant.
Yep.
And they keep feeding this like little devil machine, like,
And he's like
going
telling them
to
the future. Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. William Shatner, I only think, did 2 episodes.
Yeah, he did that one, and then the one with the plane and like the
Yep.
ghoul on the
That was the first episode I had ever seen of Twilight Zone, and it was like
which one, the plane one, or
yeah,
the
Nightmare at 20,000 feet.
Yeah.
That was a great one. A teacher of mine had actually showed us that one in like middle school.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he was an interesting teacher, dude. I remember that day. He was drunk when he came back for sure. I'm not gonna say his name,
Oh, okay.
but I remember it like
Kind of like the one teacher from the faculty who's always like putting his flask in the
yeah,
coffee.
exactly. He like fucking came around the room. And dude, I smelt fucking alcohol in his breath. And we had just come back from lunch.
Yeah.
And then he throws on Twilight Zone.
He's like, "Fuck it, I don't want to teach today."
Yeah, he just wanted to fucking kick it, man. But yeah, I guarantee you though, it's gonna be on early. But yeah, maybe we should throw on some episodes. I think they're still streaming on Netflix as well.
I think we should try to sneak it on at the party tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because like, who wants
Oh
to
no,
watch?
yeah, no, they watch it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, everybody
cool.
watches it.
Because like, I'm not really trying to sit through. I mean, I know we'll all be like shooting the shit and everything. But who the fuck wants to sit through a bunch of like people like lip syncing bullshit?
I never watch that shit.
Nah.
I only usually like catch the tail end when the ball's
Yeah,
about
like
to
the last
drop.
15 minutes is like
Yeah.
the time to throw it on.
But yeah, dude. So let's talk fucking Terror Train, dude.
Real quick
yeah.
before we start getting into the plot breakdown and everything, you want to introduce our friend here?
So yeah, this is Steven's mask. This is Groucho. This is from the era of when Terror Train had come out. You know, this is a '76 Caesar mask. I actually found this for him.
Yeah, man, you did me a huge favor. Like, I've always appreciated this mask, and you were more of a mask collector.
Yeah.
I'm not
Awesome.
really,
We'll put
but
it there for a second.
I was like, yeah, for those that like aren't watching and just listening, I have the mask from the movie,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Not
it's
the actual one.
not a screen use, but it is the mask that's used um in the movie. The killer, he goes through multiple costumes, but like the Groucho mask always stuck out to me, and the fact that you were able to track one down
Yeah.
is so sick.
Well, I mean, in the in like the collecting community, dude, like this mask it's an iconic mask, man. Like we're horror collectors, dude, so we collect horror masks, collect Michael Myers masks, Leatherface masks, you fucking name it.
Yeah.
And I mean, Terror Trains, that's a fucking iconic movie. And I mean, it's the only movie that used a Groucho
Yeah.
mask. You
And it's
know?
creepy, man. Like it's not, and it, a lot of like when you think like, oh, the Groucho disguise, it's just the glasses and the nose and
Yeah.
mustache. No, this is like the legit mask.
Yeah. No, it's super cool. I would have liked to have kept it for myself, but I know that you're a really big Terror Train fan. I love Terror
Big Terror
Train.
Train.
I'll
Yeah,
eventually
big Terror Train fan. Yeah,
I'll
man.
eventually find one
Yeah.
and I'll put it in the collection. I stopped collecting masks, you know, I it just became way too much. I got rid of all my stuff, but I'm starting to get back into it. I just want to get certain pieces and then call it a fucking day.
I get
But then
it's an
again,
expensive hobby.
man, it is.
Yeah.
And like back in the day, I was able to make it work. I was also a lot younger and I didn't have as much responsibilities and bills and all that shit and but yeah, I want to get back into collecting masks, man. I paint masks and everything like that too. So
Yeah, if you need a Leatherface mask, hit this guy up.
yeah, check out the Butcher's Gallery on Instagram. That's my mask painting page. So check it out. It's awesome. I have a lot of fun doing it.
I gotta get old Groucho here some better glasses that are more movie accurate. I mean, these are like some cheap glasses that stock glasses that probably came with the mask.
Yeah, he's got like square frames,
Yeah.
I think, like in it, something similar to that at least. But yeah, it's awesome. And then like in the movie, they cut the eyes out more so you
Yeah.
can see Kenny's eyes.
Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny's eyes behind the mask. And then the I think the mustache is a little bit different in it.
Yeah, it's got kind of more of an upwards curl, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, dude, you got a fucking
But
Groucho.
it
You
is
got a
the
legit
mask.
Caesar Groucho,
Yeah.
man. So
I would never sell it.
don't ever fucking sell him. And if
I
you do, sell him to me.
obviously, but I'm not gonna. I was offered I think like 160
Nah,
for
it
it.
ain't fucking worth it.
Nah, no way. Someone saw it cuz anytime I watch this movie, I always post like this movie that I have on display here for those that are just listening with my Groucho Marx mask.
Mhm.
And I had someone like hit me up like, "Hey, are you willing to sell it? I'll give you like 160, like just drop your PayPal."
Yeah, no,
And I was
thank
like,
you.
No, thanks, man. Like, there's a lot of sentimental value to this."
Since I had found that one for you, I haven't seen one for sale.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like they just don't come up.
Not really, man. Not really. And the guy that I bought it from, like, he's deep into collecting, man. So he was the one who was giving it up.
It sits nicely on like my movie shelf, and it's funny because like past relations, anytime someone slept over, they're like, "Can you fucking put a towel over that thing?" And I'm like, "Nope, no."
No, the Groucho stays.
The Groucho stays.
mask stays on.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, man, let's get into a bit of a plot breakdown here.
Yeah. Do you want to just fucking? You want to read the back?
Yeah.
Shout Factory probably do a nice synopsis on it. This is the Shout Factory collector's edition, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Terror Train.
Out of print now with the slip at least.
Don't
I
worry,
think.
it'll get a 4K Ultra
Yeah, I'm
HD
sure
release.
they're doing all Shout Factory, Scream Factory. They're doing like redoing all of their movies with the 4K releases.
Dude,
So
I want to get little sidebar. I'm gonna get the Black Christmas one.
especially with your setup here, I would definitely.
You're gonna end up seeing Billy's full face
Yeah,
now.
I feel like we're gonna see it as clear as day with that scan.
Yeah, but all right, man. So
All right.
read the back of the DVD. Let's get the synopsis going, and then let's talk about this flick.
All right, back of the cover. It's New Year's Eve, and a group of college co-eds have planned a masquerade bash aboard a chartered train. What they didn't plan on was that a knife wielding psycho would crash the party and begin slaughtering the guests one by one. Who is the brutal costume killer? Could it be the mysterious magician, David Copperfield, with a talent for swordplay? A former frat pledge with an axe to grind, or any number of other guests, both invited and uninvited. Also starring Academy Award winner Ben Johnson, supporting actor The Last Picture Show, Hart Bochner, and Dee Dee Winters,
They don't mention.
aka Vanity.
Okay, they don't mention Jamie Lee on there. On the back?
No. Well, she's on the front.
Yeah, but that's weird.
Yeah.
She's the star of the movie, and they don't even put her back.
So this movie's got Jamie Lee Curtis, coming off the cusp of Halloween and prom night.
She was filming Prom Night back to back.
This.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Prom night's this is a
Canadian
Canadian film, and so is Prom Night. Prom
Yeah.
Night is a Canadian film. So, yeah, I
Makes
didn't know that
sense.
they were filming
Yeah, she
like
filmed them back to back. Yep.
Wow, okay. So, she was riding off the hype of Halloween, like she was the Scream Queen at the time. And this has a decent cast.
Yeah.
Vanity, for those that know the movie The Last Dragon, Vanity's in that. She's Bruce Leroy's love interest. She plays like some pop star who hosts like a music show called Seventh Heaven. Total babe.
Seventh
Total
Heaven?
babe. Yeah, that's what her show is called in the movie, Seventh Heaven.
You think Seventh Heaven TV show got inspiration from that?
Might have, because
It's probably a saying.
the
I don't
last
know.
The Last Dragon came out in 85, and Seventh Heaven came out in like the 90s.
Right.
So, but yeah, Vanity, total babe. David Copperfield,
Yeah, David Copperfield's in it. He goes by the Magician.
the magician.
And if I'm correct, I don't know. I didn't check my facts on it, but I think that this was probably one of only David Copperfield's flicks that he had ever done where he like didn't play himself in it.
Yeah,
Like he goes by the Magician, so he's a character in this,
but not him.
but not David Copperfield.
Yeah.
But David Copperfield rules.
Dude, he was awesome in this one.
Yeah, he really was.
We just got done watching this. That's kind of what we do when we shoot in person. Is we'll watch on Nick's 64 65
Come on, man.
4K TV with his nice sound bar and setup here on the couch.
Yeah, 5.1 surround sound.
Yeah. So, it's the nice setup. Best way to view these kind of movies. And we were just talking. We are like, dude, David Copperfield is quite the presence.
Yeah.
Quite a handsome man, dude.
Yeah, dude. He
I didn't think Magic could be so sexy.
he had a charm to him in the
He
movie,
did.
man.
He was a
you know?
very charming guy.
He was also the red herring in the flick too.
Yes, he was. They definitely want you to believe that like David Copperfield's character is the one committing all these murders.
Yeah.
But little do they know, old Kenny.
The real twist, though, is hidden in plain sight.
Yes.
But we will get to that. Let's
Yeah.
get to that. Let's talk
Okay.
a little bit more about it.
So like the movie starts with a flashback on New Year's Eve.
3 years prior. Okay.
To like
Yeah.
what like is gonna happen.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like initiation night or something.
Dude, it just
Like-
seemed like they were always initiating. Like, Doc
Yeah.
was always just, like, doing something. Doc was the biggest asshole. He
Yeah.
was, like, the leader of the fraternity. I hate that motherfucker.
Doc and Mo, and they've got all these freshmen, and they're wearing these caps, and it's just like, you've got to get laid tonight, or you're stuck wearing the cap all semester. And they play a prank on this kid Kenny. So they like bait him up to think like he's about to sleep with Jamie Lee Curtis's character. And it turns out that they've got a fucking dead body because they're medical students.
Yeah.
So they cop the body from the morgue, and Kenny gets in bed with it and just realizes it's a fucking dead old woman and her like limbs fall apart.
Yeah.
And he has like a total freak out. That's when it skips 3 years ahead.
Yeah.
And we're back on New Year's Eve. They're all about to graduate with like their bachelor's degree. They're all like pre-med students, and it's like one last big hoorah
Yeah.
with this masquerade party on the train.
Which I think is pretty fucking cool. I
yeah.
like that. It's different, you know?
Yeah, like I don't know many people that, well, besides like that New Year's Eve episode on Twilight Zone, like what other masquerade parties,
That's true.
have been used in a movie on New Year's Eve?
That's true.
I think that's a really cool idea. And
Yeah.
it's on a train, so like
And
the
then
setting is dope.
the train aspect too, like just adds like that confined,
Yeah,
like
you're stuck.
nowhere to
Yeah.
go. What are you gonna do? You're gonna jump off the fucking train? What are you gonna do to get away from a killer?
Exactly.
You
In
know?
like sub-freezing weather up in Canada,
Yeah.
you're not going anywhere.
I just think that it was a great setting for it.
Yeah, I like when horror movies take place on a train. Like another like favorite of mine is Horror Express, which is like a
I
70s
never heard of that.
one. It's there's Christopher Lee is in it.
Oh, cool.
Peter Cushing's in it.
Oh, dude, cool.
Yeah, it's a great one. One of my grandfather's favorites, but pretty much like Christopher Lee is like this explorer who finds like a missing link body, but it
Oh, dude, you
happens.
fucking got me sold. What? Well, when you said explorer,
Yeah,
train, explorer. Oh, another thing, Murder on the Orient Express. That's another train flick, but you probably have never seen it.
I haven't seen it, but there's also Train to Busan.
Train to Busan.
Yeah.
True, true.
Night Train to Terror.
Night
So
Train to
like,
Terror.
you know,
There's a couple.
Midnight Meat Train.
True. That's
Yeah.
on the subway though.
Yeah, true.
I guess it counts.
Yeah. Oh, Creep. Creep is another good one. That's
I've
it's
never
an
finished
English
Creep.
horror. Oh, dude, you gotta finish it. It gets fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Not the one with like the wolf mask. It came out.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
okay.
This came out in like the early to mid 2000s. It was like a UK horror where it's like this like mutant deformed killer in like the subways of like UK.
Oh, cool. I
Yeah,
fuck with that.
it's fucking dude. It's pretty fucking wild. It scared me as a kid. I think I was like a little too young to be
Creep.
watching it. Yeah. But to jump back on track, man, yeah, anytime like a horror movie is set on a train, it makes for a good setting, and I dig it. I
Yeah.
dig it a lot.
I love the shots in this of the train though. Like in the beginning when like the whole gate opens
Yeah.
and then you see the
The
train.
title card.
Yeah,
too.
it's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I fucking love that, man. And then just like the shots throughout the movie of the train itself, like going through the night with the
Yeah.
smoke bellowing and all that. It was just so cool, man. Like the shots were great in this movie.
And we kind of grew up next to the train because
Yeah.
like where I originally lived down here, my house was like right next to the train
Yeah.
tracks. And it's kind of like almost like a white noise. Like whenever I know like it doesn't phase you because like you've heard it so like your whole life living here. But
Mhm.
whenever I come back and I hear that train, I'm like, I'm home. It's a
Yeah.
comforting feeling. It's like I'm home.
Yeah.
There's the train. Yeah,
Dude, I used to walk those tracks all the time. Very dangerous.
I bet.
Yeah.
So did my mom when she because she grew up in the neighborhood that like we ended up living before we moved a little bit up north.
It was a shortcut for us, man. I had a buddy that lived where you used to live. So, and I mean, we were skateboarding all the time. I would fucking skate down to his place. We would fucking skate in the neighborhood. And then we would just walk up through the woods, like stand by me.
Yeah.
And then we would just walk the tracks, all the way to like another town where all the best skate spots were. And that's what we would do. But dude, we would fucking walk that shit at night.
Dude, I remember like older neighborhood kids got in trouble because they were like train hopping and like one of the kids' like mom was a cop. But yeah, they got busted and they were in some deep shit because like it was one of those like tight knit neighborhoods down in Baymar where like everyone knew like what people were up to,
Right.
kind of. So
Yeah, it was super fucking dangerous, man. There was times where like I would be on the fucking trestle, dude, and the trains would be coming, bro, and it's
you
just like
feel it, yeah,
making
yeah.
like a motherfucker. I was like, holy shit.
Did you feel like Michael from fucking Lost Boys
Yeah.
on the trestle?
Yeah,
Shit.
dude. Anytime I'd fucking walk over that, I'd always think about
didn't
that
think about
movie.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like just like hanging off of it,
Come on, Michael.
Yeah, yeah,
Let go
Yeah.
or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good times, man. Good fucking times,
Yeah,
man. We had
trains are cool.
yeah, trains rule, man.
Trains are cool. Thomas the Tank Engine, fucking awesome.
Thomas the Tank Engine,
Yeah.
man. That used to be my shit when I was a little fucking kid, man.
So we talked about the Groucho Marx mask, and it's on the cover amongst like other masks. How do you feel about like the killer hopping from costume to costume?
I mean, I agree with you about the Groucho being.
Yeah, it should
The
have been
best
the
one?
definitive.
I guess I don't really like the fact that he had hopped from different costumes. I think they should have just kept it the Groucho, but I guess it kind of makes sense that he had to jump from different costumes, man.
Because he's in such a confined space, and he definitely would have been caught way sooner had he like stayed in the same costume.
Right.
So for plot sake, I get it, but like
Yeah.
the Groucho mask looks so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, he hops into like a lizard costume, and that's like worn by one of the people that helped play a prank. So he's just trying to get revenge on all these people that were involved in this prank in the beginning of the movie. He's just picking them off one by one and their girlfriends,
Yeah.
and it's like he's saving the character Doc and Jamie Lee Curtis's character for last, cuz Doc clearly set it up, and Jamie Lee Curtis's character, she was the bait, which Kenny, he was interested in her.
Oh yeah,
So,
of
you
course.
know,
Well, they knew that that's how they'd get him.
yeah. I mean, it's not like the kills aren't super violent or gory, but it's okay. Like, there's enough other things going on that still makes it very entertaining.
Most of the killings though were like off camera.
Yeah.
We only saw one really
So it starts with the funny guy.
where he gets the Groucho
Yep.
costume before they hop on the train,
Yeah. He
right?
sticks a sword through him, which we
Right.
don't see him stabbing the funny dude.
He walks in the frame and he has a
He already
fucking
has a sword
he has
in
a
him.
sword
Yeah.
through him and he's wearing the Groucho.
And
And
he
then
pops that.
and then the killer takes the costume off, right? And then we hop on the train and then he's wearing the Groucho.
Then he hops to the one dude who's wearing the lizard costume.
And we see him get it. We see
Yeah.
him get killed. He smashes his face in the mirror.
Yeah. So he kills the dude in the lizard costume, and the one of the main conductors like discovers the body. He's like, "Oh shit, there's a dead body." But then he hops into that costume and plays it off like, "Oh, he was just drunk."
Yeah.
Because Doc's girl, I think her name was Mitchie.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, that's just so and so." And he's like, "What? No, that person was dead."
The bathroom was covered in blood.
Yeah.
The mirror was broken. And then the guy's dead body was on the floor.
Yeah.
And the conductor finds him.
Yeah, and he even checks his pulse, and he's like, "Yeah,
He's like,
fucking dead."
fuck. He goes and he tells like the other train conductor,
Yeah.
whomever. He's like, yeah, kid's dead in the back. Then they go and they check it out, and then
It makes it look like, "Oh no, he
yeah,
was just drunk and
it's all,
passed
all
out."
nice and cleaned up. He's like, what happened? And he pulls like an empty bottle of liquor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, "Oh, he's just
And
wasted."
then he's like stumbling out and playing it off and everything.
and it's
too.
great because like Mitchie, who is Doc's girlfriend, she was obviously in on it, and she's like, got who she thinks is like her friend, but it's Kenny under, and she's like pulling him into one of the train carts to get a little private time because she finds out like Doc is like with Vanity's character.
Everybody's sleeping around.
Yeah,
in
dude, there's
this.
a lot of cheating going on in this movie. Everyone is just, like you said, sleeping around. So Mitchie's like, "I'm gonna get in on the action myself," and she thinks it's her one friend.
Yeah, they try
Kenny-
getting to it.
She's like, "Oh, cold hands makes you know what they say, cold hands, something warm heart."
Yeah.
And but it's the dude that Kenny just killed in the lizard costume, his hand.
yeah.
So he puts it on her, and then he just, I guess, it kills her quietly in the little bunk
Yeah.
area.
That was a callback though in the beginning
Yeah.
too,
Because
with the severed hand.
Yep.
In the beginning, the severed hand was from the cadaver that was in the bedroom,
hmm
right?
And Doc had it in his back
Yeah.
pocket.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he like gave it to Kenny,
Yeah.
right? In the beginning. So yeah, it was a cool little callback to it.
So yeah, after Mitchie bites the dust, the conductor again finds Mitchie's body.
Poor
and
conductor, man.
So now he's like, "I know I'm not imagining this now." And Jamie Lee Curtis, she's looking for her fucking friend.
Her and Jamie Lee are like tight. They're
They're
fucking
like
chilling all
best
night.
friends.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee's looking for her, and the conductor finds her shoe, and she's like, "Hey, that's Mitchie's shoe. Do you know what happened to her?" And he's like, "I don't want to talk about it right here."
Yeah.
And
He
start
like
a panic
forces her in like the
to the
fucking
back.
back, which I thought was like, I was like, I wouldn't go with him.
Yeah, it's a little suspicious, but he ends up showing Jamie Lee Curtis that her body is
Yeah. He's
is
like,
there.
she's dead.
Yeah, it's like for real. They don't want to create a panic, but
Yeah.
then she
So they're gonna
goes.
they're gonna keep it to themselves.
Yeah, they're gonna keep it to themselves. But Jamie Lee Curtis is like her character. She just like, I gotta let Mo, who is her boyfriend, Doc, who is like the head asshole of the fraternity. She's like gotta let like them know because again, that's Doc's girl. They kind of already speculate that it's Kenny.
But he's in like a mental institution apparently. I
Yeah.
think that's where he was.
Yeah, because he was all fucked up from that prank, which little going back to that, I mentioned like the slow motion. So he's like, and this whole fucking freak out. It's a little
Yeah, well, when
weird,
he
but
freaks out, he so the way that they have the room set up is like there's like these hanging drapes over the bed,
yeah,
and he gets into the bed, and then he, finds out that it's the cadaver. He freaks the fuck out, and then he like jumps up, and then he gets like all tangled.
it's kind of silly.
And then, like you said, you were like, that's an interesting choice. And then it like goes slow motion. And he's like,
Yeah, it has this giant fucking meltdown in slow motion. It's so fucking silly.
it was a choice.
It was a choice. I wouldn't have made that choice personally, but it was a choice made. And yeah, I think they just start like connecting like, oh, it's Kenny. But again, there's like another magic show and Doc for some reason hates magic. I think they explain it's linked with like hating Kenny, but he's like calling all of David Copperfield's shit. He's like, this is bullshit. So like
I can do that.
yeah, so David Copperfield shows him up, but then so Mo is sitting next to him,
Yeah.
and he looks over and he's like, hey, isn't this bullshit, Mo? And then like Mo just like drops over.
The funny thing about that, though, which I kind of picked up on, was Doc is sitting next to Mo. Mo looks like he's sleeping, like
Yeah.
it's a snooze fest. And Doc keeps doing that. He's like,
Yeah.
right? So then, like, I saw one time he, like, leans over to Doc to kind of, like, be like, oh, yeah, like, I'm doing it too. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He thought that Mo was being an asshole, too. So he was trying to be an asshole along with Mo, is what I had kind of seen it.
And then Mo really does drop over. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, shit.
Mo's dead.
Mo's dead. Which is so crazy because, like, you're like, how the fuck did Kenny, like,
We don't ever see how he
Yeah.
gets killed, though, but that's the off camera.
a lot of off camera kills.
All of it except one person,
Yeah.
really.
What's funny about, like, Mo and Doc is, like, Doc is always trying to get Mo in trouble with Jamie Lee Curtis's character because Jamie Lee still harps on the prank and, like, you know, is fucked up, this and that. And she just can't let it go. And whatever, Doc's the fucking asshole.
I
Anyways,
hate Doc, dude.
yeah, he really is like the douchebag that you want to see get it.
They wrote his character so well that you fucking hated him.
Real fucking scumbag.
He's just always playing pranks. He's just always trying to hurt somebody.
Just takes shit too far.
And yeah, exactly. He takes
Yeah.
shit too far. And Jamie Lee Curtis says it too. She's like, "Can anybody ever come to like one of your parties and not get hurt? You're always trying to hurt somebody." Not verbatim, but she says something along those lines.
Yeah, she calls
He's
him
a
out.
fucking asshole, dude. And like you said, he's always trying to get Mo in trouble.
Yeah.
So there's this one girl who's drunk on the train, and she's just kind of like throwing herself at like everybody. Doc locks Mo and her in one of the rooms, but Mo's a good dude. He's not like doing anything. He's like trying to get out. He's trying to get her away from him.
And she's like all stripping and shit.
Yeah,
and
she's
like,
wearing like pants
All the
like
way up to her boobs,
all
and
the
then
way
she-
up with suspenders.
Yeah. And she just drops him. She's like, oh.
Right.
And I mean, she's fucking total babe, which I don't remember the name of the actress, but she was in this other Canadian slasher film called Humongous.
There you go.
So yeah, I think that came out in like 83.
Canada. I've heard
Yeah.
of Humongous. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I have like the Scorpion. Is it what's that label? Scorpion Releasing, I think, is the label. It's like an offshoot of like Code Red and shit.
Were they the ones that put out Opera? That crazy opera set?
They might have. Yeah, I think so.
I think it might have been. That's the
Yeah.
only, like you said, Scorpion, that jogs my memory, so
Yeah.
that might have been, but that's a little sidebar right there.
Yeah.
Let's get back.
Yeah, like Doc tries to set fucking Mo up because he knows Jamie Lee is gonna be like fucking looking for him, and he realizes like he's like shh, like Doc is to the girl, the
Mhm.
drunk girl, and she hears and she's like no, like Jamie Lee is like yeah, Doc told me he was back here, and like
I know he is. Doc said he was here.
yeah, Mo's just like that fucking asshole. But what's funny, and we discovered this upon this watch, there is like this bromance jealousy from Doc, man. He is like in love with Mo.
Yeah, like it's kind of like he had a little thing for Mo. It seemed.
Yeah, because like when Mo gets killed,
Oh man,
when he's like
a wreck.
dude, Doc like has a total fucking breakdown. He's like acting.
Like his girlfriend died.
Yeah, like even more than like Jamie Lee's character. He's got like Mo coddled and he's like, no, no, and he's got his like face pressed. He's like carrying him. Like dude, my man is distraught. So
Hey,
like,
man, I mean, that might have been why he was, I mean, fucking trying to get him and Jamie Lee to break up. Who knows?
yeah, I definitely think there were some undertones there.
Maybe.
Yeah. Still doesn't give you an excuse to be an asshole though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Try to ruin your fucking your homie's relationship. But
Yeah.
Doc was an asshole, so he had his own motive.
Once that Mo gets killed, that's when like the rest of the party sees it, and then it just becomes a complete panic.
Yeah.
All of the train workers.
He was in a packed room.
Yeah.
At the David Copperfield magic show.
Yeah.
So,
which again, how Kenny pulls that kill off is
we'll
never know because they don't show you, but it's just crazy. So everyone knows, and the train workers, they're all like grabbing axes and just trying to like stop the train because Doc fucking pulls the lever and then realizes that it doesn't break. So it turns out the other conductor, I mean, there's a lot of conductors.
yeah.
The one that's driving the actual train, Kenny took him out. They end up stopping the train and everyone just fucking gets off in like sub-freezing weather. And they're like, fuck this. Like, we don't want to stand out here and freeze.
Yeah,
so they're like, well, if we all condense into one room, like he can't.
Yeah, we'll be safe.
Yeah.
Relatively
but then
safe.
Doc starts acting like totally erratic and like grabs Jamie Lee and then like barricades them. Is like, it is Kenny. It is. Like, that's when he realizes, like, they flip through the yearbook and then he's like, it's him.
Yeah, they
Look,
see
they're
that, like,
the magic,
magician.
the magician page in the yearbook.
But that's also a really good way to make it seem like David Copperfield was the killer, because like he could have been.
Although they didn't look alike, but still.
No, they didn't. But
yeah, so Doc has got them barricaded, and Jamie Lee's like, no, fuck this. We need to go with like everyone else, and Doc's just like, every man for himself.
Yeah, he's locking the doors and he's kicking all the knobs off.
So Jamie Lee comes out, and then she thinks that a killer, like Kenny, is coming for her.
Yeah,
and
she sees a silhouette.
And fucking Doc's like, yo, fuck you, and he just locks her out. But it's just the main conductor who's.
Yeah, she hops out of the room to get away from Doc, and then down the hallway we see the silhouette, the top hat, and the fucking axe of a person coming towards her, and then she starts banging on the door. Doc, let me in, let me in, let me in. Asshole, obviously.
Like, every man for themselves. Yeah, every man for themselves.
Every man for himself. He doesn't say that again, but that's his fucking his thought process on this shit. And I mean, it turns out that it's one of the conductors, so she's saved.
And then he realizes there was a door that wasn't locked. So now he's in all paranoia, and he's like thrashing around the room with a stool, thinking like, where the fuck is Kenny? Like this and that. And then Kenny was like under one of the benches.
Yep.
And when you had pointed this out, and I had not noticed the hand, we obviously realize it's Kenny's hand. But there's a little detail, and maybe you want to get into this now.
Yeah, so when Kenny ultimately, comes to kill Doc, Doc's just kind of like sitting. Kenny puts his hand over Doc's shoulder, and then we see red nail polish, like a dark red nail polish. And I told Steven, I was like, that's like kind of a giveaway right there as to who the killer is.
So we didn't mention before, but so we've got David Copperfield, the magician, but we also have his assistant, which is a woman who happens to have red nail polish. Now, this woman has some features about her that look very masculine.
Sure. Could pass as a woman.
Could definitely pass as a woman, for sure, for sure. You're like, because she always appears, this assistant, right after the commotion of everything. And at one point, when they all decide, they all are like, yo, it's the magician killing. And she's like, oh, there's a commotion going on, the magician assistant. And David Copperfield's character is just looking at her like, yeah. And she's got like a sword, which goes back to the beginning when the dude in the Groucho costume was killed with the sword. And he's just looking at her like side-eyed, like, I know you're up to something. So, of course, she like, surprise, Kenny has been dressing up as
the female magician
assistant, and Yeah, that's like the big reveal. So it's really cool though because like Kenny's been there killing the whole time in front of your faces, and like you don't realize it until like that's like the big reveal is that Kenny was like
Yeah.
you knew that like it was Kenny that was coming back to take revenge,
Yeah.
but you didn't know that it was Kenny dressed as a woman
Yeah.
as
You,
the magician's assistant.
right? You just maybe thought that he was like in another costume or something,
Yeah,
you know?
which I
So,
think that's an awesome swerve.
oh, that's a great
Yeah,
twist. That's a great twist, in my
I love
opinion.
that reveal.
Yeah,
When
I
I
do
first
too.
saw this like years ago, I think I saw this like right after high school or like towards the end of high school, but I didn't know it.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, "Oh yeah, that's." I couldn't tell.
No, me either, man. Me either. But the reveal at the end's really cool. It's just the whole commotion and everything like that, and then Jamie Lee and Kenny. Kenny's in another disguise. He's in like an old man mask now. They have an awesome altercation
Yeah,
in one of the carts where she blocks herself in
some like cage
some
thing.
like cage area in it,
Yeah,
and he's like banging out
the
all of the
lights with a
lights
crowbar.
and everything, and just like taunting her. He's like jamming stuff in there trying to get her. She ends up stabbing him with one of those
Receipt.
receipt spikes.
Yeah, she stabs him
Yeah.
like right in the face, which you had mentioned it would have been better in the eye.
Yeah,
I
like
definitely agree.
like she
Like,
did with Michael.
yeah,
So she kind of gets him in the cheek or on like the side of the face.
which is funny you say Michael because we had drawn some parallels.
Her scream.
Her scream, you it's literally the exact scream that she does in Halloween when she falls over the banister.
Yeah. Yeah. So go watch the movie and then listen for it, because the way that she screams and the way that she does certain things in this movie, it sounds like they fucking pulled it out of Halloween
Yeah.
and just dubbed it in. They definitely didn't do that. It's just Jamie Lee being Jamie Lee because she's the scream
Yeah,
queen.
I think they were like, "Jamie, do the thing.
Just do your thing.
Do the thing."
Do the thing.
You know, and then she's like, "All right, oh, that scream." And you know, she does the scream. But also, you'd mentioned too that the whole like when Kenny's like choking her, she's doing like the choking the way like Michael
It sounds
just
just
like
like
yeah.
when Michael and her were having that little choking
Yeah.
thing at the end of Halloween. So they have their altercation. She knocks him out of the train.
And we think that's the end of Kenny.
Yeah, but we see that he's holding on.
Yeah. And then there's a cool reveal just to remind you that he's not dead because everyone else thinks like, oh, it's over. We're gonna be at the next boarding station soon. You know, it's the sun's coming up. And then like you just see so it's a shot of Jamie Lee just like resting. And then you just fucking see Kenny in the old man mask
Upside down.
upside down. It's almost like either it reminds me of a shot from like Salem's Lot when the vampires are at the window, or like when Michael is at the window in Lost Boys, kind of like
Yeah, he's upside down. He's like crawling down the window.
Yeah.
It's almost like the scene in Nightmare at 20,000 Feet with William Shatner, the Twilight Zone,
you're
right?
You are right.
When the little they're supposed to be gremlins. That's like the whole thing behind it. But yeah, like it's kind of
Yeah.
like that too.
Which is funny because like we had mentioned before, the whole Twilight Zone marathon,
Yeah.
New Year's Eve.
Hey man, it's cool when I mean, they didn't like.
They didn't plan that, but it just a funny
It's just cool, like how
full circle
yeah,
shit,
it's
man.
cool.
It always happens with us.
That's for sure, man.
Yeah. So yeah, Kenny's not dead. He crawls back in, and I think she goes and looks for like one of the conductor workers, and now Kenny's dressed like one of the workers.
Yeah, she goes into the cart, and you see the conductor hat on, but he's like kind of face down in his arms, and she goes and she's like trying to talk to him, and she sits down and he fucking grabs her arms, and he's wearing like this clear mask. It
almost like the Alice Sweet Alice type mask.
right.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a mask of his own face.
Yeah.
Like they'd call it like a death mask or something like that, right? It kind of looks like that, but it's super creepy.
I love it. She's like, her hands are extended, right? And he just like grabs them, and she like looks up, and fucking she's just staring at him like face to face.
That was a great shot.
Yeah, it was a great fucking shot, and it's just like, oh shit,
Yeah.
like it's Kenny,
And they're face to face now, you
Yeah.
know?
I love that shot, and then he like takes the mask off, and we get to hear his voice.
He pulls out the full, but this is the reveal. This is the reveal that he has been hidden in plain sight the whole time.
Yep.
He takes the mask off, and then he takes the hat off, and then as he's taking the hat off, he's wearing the
blonde wig.
blonde wig,
Yeah.
and then he pulls out the false teeth, and then we have the flashback of him with David Copperfield being his assistant in the magic, and you're just like, that's fucking cool. That's
Yeah.
a great twist.
Like he's been there the whole time.
Right in front of your
Yep.
fucking eyes, bro.
Yeah.
So
And it's great because then like he pulls her in like real close, and he's like almost jealous of, because like David Copperfield's character was like clearly into Jamie Lee Curtis, and you know he was very charming, and you know I think she was vibing with it too.
yeah, she
Yeah.
definitely was. I mean,
And-
the drinks were flowing,
Yeah.
and the pot was
But-
being the smoking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's joints definitely been rolling.
They were smoking joints. They were drinking. So everybody's
Everyone's having a good time.
everybody
It's New
was
Year's
just
Eve. Yeah.
feeling it.
And it's funny too because like he pulls Jamie in and he's like, "You liked him," and like I dig his voice, man. It's a very creepy voice.
He must have been working on it in the insane asylum.
Must have, because it's very creepy, and I kind of wish we heard a bit more of it. I mean, yeah, it would have. I don't know how it would have worked.
It wouldn't have.
It wouldn't have,
No.
but I do appreciate it. Like it's a very good creepy voice. And then she's like, "No, Kenny, like you're better than magic at him and this and that." And
Kiss me.
he's like, "Kiss me." Yeah, he's like, "Oh, fucking
Kiss me.
kiss me." And then she does kiss him, and then it sets him back into the whole prank in the beginning, and he just has that flashback, and he has a total mental breakdown.
Yeah, as soon as he kisses her and he's like holding her arm, he starts to freak the fuck out.
And then our main conductor comes in with the save and takes the coal shovel and knocks him the fuck off the train cart.
Fucking whaps him good couple of
Yeah,
times. and
like
he's
a good
screaming.
2 times, and his body plummets to like this river full of like ice, and you just like you hear like the body just
Oh,
break upon impact.
Oh yeah, break
Yeah.
upon him. It's like,
Yeah,
and then he starts fucking going down the river.
yeah,
It was a great ending.
yeah, and that's it. That's just how the movie ends.
Roll credits.
Roll credits. Yeah,
Terror Train.
dude.
And even then, Jamie Lee doesn't get top bill on it.
Does she not?
She doesn't get top bill on it. Yeah, she was.
Which-
she was the second, and I don't even think in the
I
beginning.
mean,
she got
she's at
top
the
bill.
peak of her career right here. Well, not the peak, but like her career is really starting to boom now because, you know, Halloween '78, then Prom Night, and like you mentioned before, now this, and like, you know, it's taking off. So
Mhm.
you would think that she would get top bill with how successful Halloween was.
Who
but-
knows?
We also forgot to mention we do see a beheading of Doc.
That was so satisfying.
Yeah.
You don't see it happen, but that was the most brutal of the killings.
Yeah.
And that's because Doc was the fucking mastermind behind all of it. So Kenny really had that fucking vendetta against him.
Yep.
And he
And
cuts
so
his
he
fucking
got
head
it the
off.
best, man.
Yeah. I like that. Fuck Doc.
Fuck Doc.
But overall, man, I love this movie.
Yeah, I really try to go out of my way, like every or close to New Year's Eve, like, and watch this because it's definitely become a favorite of mine.
We knew that we would be talking about this movie at this time. Like,
Yeah.
it was a given.
It's too good of an opportunity to not talk about it. Again, we are here in person. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. What a better time to watch. Yeah, this episode will drop after New Year's Eve, but what a way to fucking kick off the new year than talk about this. You
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. And then, dude, you brought down Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things.
I did. I got so when we talked about Black Christmas, I had mentioned to you about Bob Clark's earlier horror films, which I'd like to make a correction about Deranged. He did not direct it, but produced it.
Cool.
But one of the actors, Alan Ormsby, who's in Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, directed it.
Okay.
And Tom Savini did the effects on it,
Oh, fuck yeah.
which
the
he
king.
also does the effects on Death Dream as well.
Okay.
So we got to visit that. But yeah, I brought down Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things 50th anniversary 4K. I can't wait to watch it on your TV.
I can't wait to actually watch it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you had brought that down. So that's on the list this weekend too.
Oh, for sure.
I
Between that and Twilight Zone marathons kicking off tomorrow, yeah, definitely.
yeah, we're gonna be pretty fucking set, man.
Yeah. So yeah, any other like final thoughts on Terror Train before we give our rating?
One thing I do want to say is there's a fucking remake to this now. I don't know
That's
if
right. Tubi, which I love Tubi.
shout out Tubi. Tubi rules.
Yeah, they have great fucking deep cut gems on there.
Sure.
So I'm not dissing Tubi as far as like their library, but I guess they're making their own originals.
Maybe we should check it out. Do you kind of want to check it out? I kind of want to just see what it's about.
All right.
Maybe we'll check it out.
We could check it out. When do you want to check it out?
I don't know, but
I mean, it's got to be soon.
maybe tonight. Maybe we'll check it out tonight.
Burn one and check it out.
Yeah, we'll burn one and check it out. Fuck it.
I heard it was shit. But if you really want to check it out, we can watch it. It's pretty crazy. There's already a sequel in the works.
I mean, I don't know how it is. I can't really.
But again, all love to Tubi and their library. They have a great selection of deep cut horror.
And I mean, good
ninja films. Oh my gosh,
they have a
dude.
great selection of ninja.
They have so many ninja films on there. For Ninja November, I was like watching a shit ton of the Godfrey Ho ninja films.
Yeah.
So,
but good shit that they have, original flicks. I don't know if they've done that in the past or what, but I mean that's pretty fucking
not
cool.
to my knowledge.
I mean, if it's
But
getting
good for them,
if it's getting a sequel, good for them too.
hey man, we
That's
live
cool.
through the era of sci-fi original shitty horror. Every Saturday there'd be like a new sci-fi original and be the worst CGI'd horror film, creature feature, and it's just like, who the fuck? I guess sci-fi is just funding the money.
Sci-fi.
Yeah. But like they're just pissing money away to like
People
churn
like
out
it.
these
People
shit
love that.
films.
People love that.
Oh no, I know like Clownado, Sharknado, all that shit is like a big thing. It's like, they're so bad it's good, but
Dude, what the fuck is Clownado? Is that a movie?
it is a movie.
You're kidding me.
I'm not fucking so.
What the fuck is that?
All right, so you remember in 2016 during October where there was that clown scare of people dressing up
of course.
like clowns and shit in random places?
Yeah.
So they capitalized on that by making, after Sharknado, the same makers, they did one with clowns, and it was like a fucking tornado filled with creepy clowns. It exists. It's a sci-fi original.
You're fucking kidding me.
I'm not fucking kidding you, man. It exists.
I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm curious.
That's a shoot, brother.
That's a shoot.
That's a shoot.
Fuck, man. I've never even seen Sharknado. Have you?
I've seen bits and pieces during Shark Week. It's got there's like one of the actors from Beverly Hills 90210. He's like always in these.
Oh man.
He's got like a resurgence, I guess, with these movies. So.
Like a C movie actor now. Like that ain't even like a B movie.
Yeah, no, it's C level.
Is there
shit,
even
man.
a C level?
Yeah, man. I'm sure this new Terror Train. It
might be like a C
I
level
hate
movie.
to judge a movie by its cover, but man, it does look fucking C level.
Oh boy. Well, we'll check it out. We'll see. Yeah, on the topic of like those types of like C movies, man, Birdemic's not that bad. That guy did the thing.
You did the thing.
Yeah. Did you ever see the?
You tried giving me a copy of Birdemic. I don't
accidentally
want it.
bought 2 of them. Somebody bought it. It was sealed.
Right on.
I got a copy somewhere.
Good for them.
Yeah. I got it for like $5. I think I
Yeah,
sold
I
it for
heard-
$5.
I've seen little clips and like, man, those effects but it's almost like it looks like they did it on purpose.
This was one guy who did it.
Oh,
One guy
really?
filmed it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like some older guy, bro, and he would like drive around in like a van and like promote it. He would like drive around in a van and promote it, and he would like have like blood and birds and stuff all on his car and shit. And then he would like tell people about his movie. He like did all the CGI and shit himself. There's a whole Vice thing about him, and there's like
Okay.
a whole Vice thing about like these directors that make movies like that.
Interesting.
It's cool. Like, I love that ambition when it comes to filmmaking. He fucking did it, and he got that movie. He got that movie released,
Hey,
man.
dude, Severin released it.
Yeah, Severin released it. He got
So,
that fucking movie made. So, I mean, I respect that guy.
hey, I would love to have. If I was a filmmaker, I'd love to have a label like Severin Films putting out
Yeah.
something.
Oh,
So,
dude, I'd love to have fucking Vinegar Syndrome release one of my movies, man. I'd love fucking Severin to release one of my movies. Great labels, man.
great label.
And I mean, I love that Vinegar Syndrome has the partner labels too,
Yeah,
which is awesome.
they've really expanded with their partner labels.
So yeah, I love that shit.
But with that being said, you ready to rate this thing?
Yeah, you go first.
All right. I am giving Terror Train a 7.9
7.9
out of 10.
Good shit.
I genuinely enjoy this one. It's during the peak of the slasher craze. A great cast. Again, you've got the Scream Queen herself, Jamie Lee Curtis, Vanity.
I gotta check out that movie you had mentioned with Vanity and
The Last Dragon.
Yeah, I'd like to check
rules. Who's the master? Show enough? Man, let me tell you, Show enough, iconic villain.
Yeah.
Dude, at one point, he tells the character, he's like, kiss my Converse. And he just like fucking kicks him right in the face. It's like a funny martial arts film.
Mm-hmm.
And again, dude, this Show enough, the Shogun of Harlem, fucking badass, dude. It's one my mom raised me on. Yeah, she loves The Last Dragon. And
Tarantino probably loves it.
I feel like Tarantino would fuck with it. Yeah, for sure. But dude, there's so many fucking good lines, especially from Shonuff. Like, catches bullets with his teeth. I could go on for it. I'm gonna save all these quotes for like,
yeah. Let's do that movie.
Yeah, I'm giving away too many good quotes right now.
Movie, man.
Yeah, we talked about not only covering like horror films, but like also like good 80s action and exploitation films. And I think Last Dragon would be so fun.
Let's do it.
To watch.
Let's do it. Let's
definitely be an episode down the road for us to cover.
Let's go through the movies that we want to do. We'll throw that on there. We'll figure out when to do it.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Good shit.
So yeah, 7.9. I try to watch it almost around New Year's Eve every year. This and New Year's Evil is another honorable mention, which I don't know, maybe next year around this time we can cover that.
For sure. I'm down.
Yeah. I'd say 7.9. If you haven't seen it and you're looking for a slasher film and you're in the mood for a holiday slasher, because who doesn't, love a holiday slasher?
I love them.
So So this is one you definitely should check out.
For sure. So for me, man, I give Terror Train a 7 out of 10, man.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. I love this movie. I love this movie like you love this movie. It's a must watch going into the new year for me.
Yeah.
I love Jamie Lee in it. I love the twist at the end.
Great twist.
Great twist, man.
And Kenny is a great killer.
Kenny's a great killer, dude. I love the Groucho.
Yep. A lot of the points go to the Groucho for me.
Most of the points go to the Groucho. It was a sick costume.
Yeah.
I like the characters. They did a really good job at writing the characters. I have a strong dislike for Doc. I hate Doc.
Which is a good thing because you want to hate
Yeah,
Doc.
you want to hate Doc. You like Jamie Lee. You like Mo.
Yeah.
So 7 out of 10, my friend.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Love this movie.
Well, that pretty much wraps up our talk on Terror Train.
That it does, man.
Yeah, so if you like what you've been watching and or listening to, you can find us at Dead With My Friends Podcast on Instagram, as well as YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Be sure to leave us a rating and review. 5-star ratings really help the show grow. We'd greatly appreciate it. And we hope you all have a happy and safe new year. Go watch Terror Train.
Yep, go watch Terror Train. Happy New Year. Watch some Twilight Zone too. Peace.
And some Twilight Zone, yes.